Hello everyone, this is Joshua Preston, CEO of Ninja Nexus, back with the third part in our video series on managing Windows Update with your RMM effectively. I hope you recall our insightful discussion from our last discussion where we delved deep into the realm of effective patching policies. Today we're navigating a new territory, but in the same universe, patch issue management. It's going to be an interesting one today. But before we dive into the specifics, let's set the stage by addressing some of the elephants in the room. And by that, I mean some of the ubiquitous challenges we all face when it comes to patch management. I understand that it's tempting to take a set and forget type approach when it comes to managing Microsoft Update. We recommend against this, obviously, as it's a quick path to gross negligence for an IT service business. Then there's the labyrinth of assessment that's required to adequately cover all of your bases when it comes to monitoring Microsoft Update health across your clients. Often discerning a genuine issue from the noise feels like finding a needle in a haystack. Or worse, believing your monitoring is working flawlessly only to discover it's like a sieve letting issues slip right through. And I'm sure many of you have had that eureka moment, although not the good kind, where you stumble upon an insecure machine or server by mere chance. Not to mention the murky waters of patch reporting where clarity often eludes us and our clients. Now, these very challenges drove us to create a tailor-made system. While I'll be showcasing parts of it today, rest assured that the golden nuggets of wisdom we've unearthed can enrich any RMM or system implementation you might have. So, what did we aim for with our system? Firstly, we wanted to turn our patching review process on its head. Instead of being reactive and primarily being driven by monitoring alerts, we wanted to proactively pin down issues that could thwart successful updating from occurring. Then we were concerned about efficiency. Why address one issue at a time when you can batch address and handle similar issues all at once? Cutting down resolution time significantly. Our goal was simple. Every machine, every month should receive its monthly cumulative operating system update. And the MSP shouldn't have to triage thousands of alerts for this to be possible. Additionally, we wanted to be genuinely proactive, spotting potential issues long before they morph into tangible problems. And for the issues we did encounter, we integrated automation to serve as both a sword and a shield, preempting some issues while resolving others. Lastly, our system wasn't just about pointing out problems. It's also about lighting the path forward. Through a meticulous update review process, we not only identify issues, but also walk you through recommended remediations, ensuring that no problem lingers for too long. In essence, we've built more than just a system. We cultivated a process around automation designed to efficiently and proactively prevent patching problems from occurring within your clients' environments. I get to show that to you today. But as I mentioned earlier, many of our learned lessons can be applied to any system. So enjoy. All right, now here is one piece of our patch issue management system. It is an audit that visualizes the current patching status within the month cycle for every Windows endpoint in the environment. So it also serves as a guided process and a replacement for all Windows Update alerts. Again, it's a visual audit that serves as a guided process and a replacement for all Windows Update alerts. With traditional monitoring, a single machine might generate multiple alerts, but within our system, only the most damaging and challenging issue will be highlighted. When addressed, all subsequent would-be alerts often disappear within the next update window. In other words, within our system, we know when we make it to Group 7 that all machines listed have an update policy, are not pending a reboot, do not have excessive uptime, have a seemingly functional Windows Update agent, are on a supported build and operating system, and are not failing to install updates during their update cycle. The goal of our system is to address the most pressing issues that prevent updates from succeeding, so that our review can be as quick as a glance. Our first assessment is, do the endpoints have an update policy within the RMM? If not, that can often explain why a machine's patch health and compliance is off. Typically, You just have to address that particular challenge, and the rest of the problems that would alert would go away. In some cases, the client may not have patching enabled intentionally. Take note of those machines and disregard if it's intentional. Note that, they may still be vulnerable. Next, machines that have been off for the entire monthly cycle. We know that they're missing at least the last monthly cumulative for the operating system, and as such, we want to encourage that the client power it on so that we can get it patched and it can remain secure. In other cases, the asset may not be in production anymore, and the record should be retired or removed from the RMM following your business's processes. Next, for the machines that we have listed in this section, we know they have an update policy and that they've been online recently, but they're pending a reboot. If it's a server and no automation is in place, that server will not patch again until a reboot takes place. Same thing for workstations. So pay extra attention to machines that carry really excessive uptime. This is often an indication of patching issues. Unsupported builds and operating systems do not receive monthly cumulative updates for their OS. They may get .NET framework updates, drivers, and other updates, but they're not getting their operating system security patches. As a result, you want to make sure that you get all Windows 10 and Windows 11 machines on supported builds, and that you don't have any unsupported operating systems across your client environments because they're not receiving updates for the OS anymore. With automation and upgrading builds for Windows 10 and 11, there's often some hard blocks that can prevent the upgrade from taking place. This includes things like encryption software, unsupported firmware and BIOS, and the like. Tools like Dell Command Update and vendor-specific applications can often help us overcome these challenges. Next, when the Windows Update API on a device fails to share information with the RMM, we have no visibility into the health of that particular machine. So troubleshooting and remediation is required in order to ensure that the machines listed in this section are properly patched and continue to be secure. We have some automation that does maintenance against the Windows Update framework on the Windows machine. It clears various cache directories, temporary files, restarts different involved services, and applies appropriate Windows Update registry values for our implementation. We often do this proactively to prevent unnecessary troubleshooting. So when endpoints show up in this group here, and they've been online recently, we know that automation has already been attempted. So additional troubleshooting is often required. But some digging and or a build upgrade can oftentimes be all that's required to move a machine along. This is also the case with failing updates. The more update types you include within your update cycle, the more likely you'll encounter updates that fail to apply. And failures during the update cycle can occur for many different reasons. Sometimes it's issues with the Windows Update framework. Other times it's environmental requirements or issues like, for instance, some driver updates look for a USB connected printer and fail when it's not detected. And in other cases, for instance, some driver updates look for a USB connected printer and fail when it's not detected. And in other cases, error codes can help point us in the right direction. So we just have to look at the patch job and look at what Microsoft returned as far as an error code for the particular failure. In either case, we like to review the specific updates that are failing and take action against them each week. Finally, the last few review groups of our hierarchical system are machines that we have detected with no other problems. We know they aren't failing to install updates. We know they've been online recently. We know they don't have excessive uptime. We know they're not pending a reboot. We know they have a patching policy. And we don't see any noteworthy issues. So for this particular section, we like to review anything that's highlighted just to make sure there isn't anything that it may or may not slip through. So since these devices are seemingly healthy, we like to pay extra attention to the last patch window uptime and the last patch inventory. We want to make sure that update cycles are taking place because the calculated compliance score is incredibly volatile as new drivers, .NET Framework updates, definitions, and OS updates are released at different intervals. The straight calculation can lead to anxiety when nothing is going wrong. The machine is simply waiting for its next patch window to install its remaining updates. Other sections include completely compliant. These are devices where we detect all updates installed, but even so, we like to review anything that's highlighted just to make sure that anything isn't out of place and that nothing is going wrong that would otherwise cause a problem or an issue to compliance for our clients. Our last section of the group, we take out of support machines by operating system. These are the machines that really should just be replaced. They're on operating systems that are out of date, and it's time for those clients to upgrade them because they're going to be vulnerable and lead to negligence. But thank you. I hope you enjoyed our dive into patch issue management, some different things to consider and to monitor. And I hope you enjoy this review.